Dom Szoboszlai. I mean, good grief. Like, talk about running out of superlatives for a footballer. We spent the first 5 weeks, whatever it was, of the season, just waxing lyrical about this lad, because he come in, you said it before, hit the ground running like so many of our players have done, of course, but Szoboszlai is levels to this. Like, just a freak. Obviously, he gets his 2 assists today, and that doesn't even tell a fraction of the story about his performance. Like, I'm just in awe of the way he gets about the pitch, because I said it in my match reaction.
Right.
He's everywhere, though. He's everywhere. And it's not just in the attacking sense, because we spoke about it again. I'm always repeating my own words. I had an inkling, I wasn't sure, but I had an inkling we'd see loads of boss creative attacking stuff in the final third, because that felt like what he was. He played a little bit on the wing for Leipzig, and it was all about goals, assists, stunning long range strikes, etc., etc. But it's the defensive stuff that he's doing that I find so bewildering and amazing. Don't get me wrong, today a lot of it was about his attacking stuff, but he's still getting back and helping out and starting the attacks and not just finishing them. He's a freak. He's an absolute freak.
He's a lad that does his homework as well. Like, everything is executed to the highest level, whether it's in the defensive phases of play or whether it's in the attacking phases of play for us. The way that he moves with the ball at his feet, the way that he can drive, the way he can pick a pass, the way he can strike a ball, all of that is, you know, you can coach and drill something. And I always used to say that, like, you know, again, I don't really want to compare too much as individuals, but I always used to say about, like, Henderson was the Ronaldo for me in terms of our centre mids. He wasn't the most naturally gifted, but every single day, you know, he worked on that pitch to try and become a little bit better, be a little bit more efficient, be the ever-present professional that he ended up being at his pomp at Liverpool Football Club. Whereas this lad is the Messi-esque version, where we can coach you and we can give you all of the, you know, the tactics that we want you to deploy, but we can't teach you the skill, the composure, the quality and the class that you've just got in abundance. I think all of those traits that you have, nobody could have schooled you. You've either got them or you haven't, and he's got them in the bucket load. And I'm just enjoying watching him play for us, because I mentioned to you before, there wasn't a nervous energy towards it, but it was who is going to be that top dog in midfield for us, who isn't. You know, Gravenberch has emerged in the last couple of weeks as a really promising prospect in that respect. But you can't look past Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is going to be that guy. There are going to be, you know, 4, maybe 5 other lads for the rest of this season fighting out 2 positions in that midfield, because you can't not have Szoboszlai in there. Yeah, there are games where we haven't necessarily needed them. Midweek was one for an example. That's fine. The opposition dictates that you don't need someone of his calibre in your squad or in your match day 11. But for the Premier League, he's going to be the difference maker. He helps us win 90% of our midfield battles against most teams in this league. There will be bigger tests. He will come up against the Rodris, the Partys, the Rices, you know, even the Casemiros, and hopefully he can best them on the day. But anybody else, mate, anybody else is just fair game. It's just there for the taking, and he doesn't look phased. He looks, and I'll say this now, he could be as transformative to us this season as Van Dijk was to us in his first season, as Fabinho turned out to be at the back end of his first season, and as Salah was to us at the end of his first season. And we haven't had someone in midfield come in and have to be that person. No. But if I had to put my life savings, which isn't a lot, on anybody, it would be Dom Szoboszlai.
You know what? It's interesting that, and I was just thinking as you were sort of finishing what you were saying, and you're right, because when Alisson comes in, we were crying out for a goalie to go, it's all right, lads, I'm the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Similar with Van Dijk. Yeah. We were crying out for a centre-half to come in and say, you had okay, I'm different level. Don't worry about things, I'm sound. And previously, prior to last season, the midfield was fine, but then last season we've seen the midfield situation and how dire it was at times. And no disrespect to those lads, because they've all served Liverpool in their own way brilliantly, of course they have, but last season just fell apart completely. So we were crying out for somebody to come in, a few lads, but one of them in particular to go, don't worry about it, I'm here now. Yeah. And it's Dom Szoboszlai. And it's interesting you said there, because the Gravenberch stuff, I've been guilty of going a bit overboard on Gravenberch. I think he's brilliant, and I still do. But I almost lost sight of Szoboszlai for a minute, and then he does that today, that statement performance, and in my own head I go, oh yeah, it's Szoboszlai.
It is. It's
he's
got
the one.
to be. And I said that to you before when we were doing the build-up. Who out of those two did he share that role? Does the mantle? Is it a well-respected thing within the dressing room that they just know? And I think it is. And that's, again, no blight on any of the other lads and their abilities and what they're able to offer, because they all offer something and add a value to this current side. But he, as I'm saying, I will stick my neck on the line. He will be as transformative a signing for us this season as the players that I've just mentioned, and what they did for us, and how they galvanised this team to go up a level. And I just, as I say, still can't wait to see the best in a red shirt come from him.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? He's carried on his record of playing every single minute as well.
Love it.
I said earlier on, I tweeted our man the match graphic, and at this point I may as well just schedule that post with his face on it, like, because every week, honestly, it's frightening. It really is.
8.5, 9 maybe,
whatever
2
you,
assists,
I think
whatever you want to call him,
it's
got to be.
I really do. Just an absolute joke of a performance once again, and his pride in wearing the shirt as well. That's what makes it that little bit extra special.